Previously on Mesozoic Isle. We were introduced to Hidden Valley and the animals that call it home, and which of them sit at the very top of its food chain. Through the tranquility and occasional excitement, Hidden Valley is a sacred place, but now she's exposed. As the peak of the storm echoes in the distance, frightened and defensive animals can finally calm. In the storm's passing, first light shines on a shocked yet brutally unaware landscape. With its lungs cleared, Hidden Valley is revitalized, and relieved animals once again begin to stir. Left in the storm's wake, the disappointment of rain clouds settle over Hidden Valley. Restless, soured and soaked, thousands of animals wait out the showers, as Mother Nature relentlessly drenches the island. So grows the paradox of how an element that brings life around the world could hide such misery and deception. The next break in the clouds reveals a land surging with water. The torrents eventually recede, leaving Hidden Valley scarred and tainted. Along its banks, the river lends signs of a land assaulted by forces far outside its control. The barriers defending Hidden Valley have been breached, and while they may fade, these scars will never fully disappear. This is a story of hardship, and unbeknownst to its characters, it's only just begun. Early the next day, a fresh stream rolls into a rejuvenated hidden lake, which anxiously awaits its first visitor. The wait's not long. Soon the shoreline welcomes a familiar face. The mother iguanodon, stressed and devastated. A cool morning bath helps to wash away a bad week. Just as so many other animals have done for years, she treats herself to a refreshing drink of this new water. But this time, it would be so very different. More than just the water is new at Hidden Lake. With the rains came new opportunities and new hazards. But these are far from the last. From the shores of Hidden Lake, we follow back up the stream. Through the deep forests, whitewater rapids, and fresh scars of Hidden Valley, we find a disturbed resident, Jasmine, a Baryonyx salubrious. Often forgotten and rarely seen, it's an odd sight to find her wandering about. It's likely that the storm upset her routine, but soon she's back on track. Home at last. This is her sanctuary, Jasmine's Creek. Shielded by the strength of the forest, Jasmine is able to lead a humble and solitary life. The river brings everything she needs right to her doorstep. A migratory sailfish, unique to Mesozoic Isle. A patient hunter knows her mark. This prey is usually limited to the sea, but to spawn, these animals migrate hundreds of miles inland. The season is strong, but brief. Jasmine wastes no time eating. She needs to make the most of this short opportunity. Redtooth is also up early, nervously in search of a meal. He seems to sense a change in the air, and is extra cautious. Or perhaps, he's just still shook up from the storm. Redtooth's suspicions are confirmed. There is something very different about Hidden Valley today. This young Daspletosaurus is not from around here. We will call her Mary. And fortunately, she doesn't seem too interested in Redtooth. But he isn't gonna take any chances. Mary is a fairly mild newcomer, but not all of these new arrivals are as tame or tolerable. Hercules is a bold subadult Acrocanthosaurus fortirius, and he has also found his way through the compromised barriers of Hidden Valley. Much like Redtooth, his species has a great purpose to fill. As with all of these speciation crusades, there are different strategies for accomplishing them. Hercules chooses his brute ferocity and sheer will. But for now, the sun is shining and the earth trembles. Yet more newcomers. This massive mother apatosaurus, Molly, and her daughter Patty are a very unique duo. Most adult sauropods live in large herds, while their offspring have to fend for themselves. However, for a not yet fully understood reason, Molly has been raising her daughter for years. So far, it's been very effective. However, when it comes to Hidden Valley, there's still a lot they haven't learned. Luckily, Patty's mother is very alert. It seems all this ruckus has caught some attention. Rex, the second to top predator of Hidden Valley. And troublemakers are not tolerated. Hercules isn't backing down a second time. Somehow, his display seems to be working. After all, Rex is the second to top predator. The problem has been resolved, but Blue needs to send a message. The gored corpse will serve as a warning to any other potential troublemakers. Rex and Blue have a unique mutual respect for one another. This is how two apex predators can coexist in the same environment for so long. It's no coincidence that both of them are very intelligent and so level-headed. Working together, they make Hidden Valley a force to be reckoned with. And there will be blood. A short distance away, deep within the woods, life is stirring. Manny never really has to worry much about safety. Carnivores his size simply are not common in Hidden Valley. Or at least, they weren't. Thanks to a heads up from a nearby Microraptor and his overly cautious tendencies, Manny escapes unscathed. However, this is only a warning for things to come, as the once secure home he knew is vanishing, one newcomer at a time. Draco has just ran into a bounty of new opportunities. This phenomenon is not going to be slowing down. For decades, Hidden Valley's isolation kept the territory uniquely balanced. However, with its mighty forest barriers compromised by the storm, a whole host of outsiders are now met with open doors. Animals that had an easy time avoiding predators before, like Sugar Plum, now have to contend with a new assortment of unpredictable predators. The female Albertosaurus from last episode, we'll call her Alex, has a similar predicament. While technically Alex is a newcomer, she naturally migrated into Hidden Valley before the storm. She is mutually unfamiliar with Sugar Plum. Animals tend to avoid eating unfamiliar foods for safety reasons, but given how little time Alex had to acclimate to Hidden Valley before the storm hit, almost everything is increasingly unfamiliar. Eventually, with enough pressure, something's bound to crack. A brief drizzling shower of rain announces the arrival of the second wave of the afterstorm. Plumes of dark clouds weed out the sun's rays once again, and life returns to anxiousness. Even through this dim landscape, Redtooth's search for food goes on. His nose leads him to the corpse of Hercules, a stark reminder of how life can end all too early. It's a relieving taste, but he doesn't enjoy it long. The bandits. The thieves of the scavenging grounds. 3 ravenous Ceratosaurus. Cecil is the alpha male of the bandits. He is an intelligent, ambitious, and fearsome carnivore. Estes is his mate, second in command, if you will. Last, and certainly least, is Morrison, the youngest and lowest-ranking member of the pack. He is lucky just to be eating at the same time as his superiors. And this is just the start of bountiful times ahead for the bandits. Redtooth's happy to have escaped with his life, but his hunger isn't quite yet satisfied. And his hunt isn't quite done with life-threatening interruptions either. Another Tyrannosaurus, a subadult female. She could easily make a meal of him. But prey that already knows of your presence isn't all that easy anymore. Besides, this place seems too chaotic for her taste anyways. Eventually, the clouds clear, and with the re-energizing rays of the sun piercing through the gloom, life kicks back into high gear. A noisy baby Apatosaurus doesn't have the same luxury of protection as Patty. By design, its only hope of survival is the sheer volume of its siblings. But numbers alone are not enough to assure the survival of an individual. Its cries echo through the valley. While the death of this individual seems unfortunate, it's actually a blessing in disguise for its brothers and sisters. Animals all over the world have played this tried-and-true numbers game for millions of years, and to great avail. For those that perish, the conflict is over. But for those who don't, it's survival of the fittest. Rex is on the lookout for uninvited guests. But Rex recognizes Violet, and for that he knows that she's not a problem. For now, Violet seems unaware of the current siege on Hidden Valley, but soon the conflict will swallow every inch of the territory. For other Apatosaurus, like Molly and Patty, the endless search for food continues. And so does the siege. An emaciated Allosaurus, desperate for food. Molly's vigil prevails. For the Allosaurus, it's now or never. With every passing hour, it becomes more clear just how pivotal Blue and the entire hierarchy of Hidden Valley are to its existence. Finally, Redtooth's persistence has brought his search for food here. Jasmine's Creek. Jasmine's luck fishing hasn't returned since this morning, so she fishes on through the last hours of daylight. Much to the advantage of our opportunistic little friend. Redtooth slips away, unbeknownst to Jasmine, whose fishing frustrations begin to show. What's turned into an unlucky day for Jasmine also turned into the luckiest day yet for Redtooth. which may turn out to be the last of his good fortune. Tough times are ahead, and for those who want to survive, they're gonna need to sink their teeth in. Next time on Mesozoic Isle, we'll meet the native Triceratops herd and its battle for power. Tensions will rise as more new arrivals enter Hidden Valley, and the daily struggle to survive goes on. For the residents of Hidden Valley, the pressure will set in and only continue to increase until everyone is on the edge.